is the theme song. This is the theme song for average. This is the theme song for average people sitting in chairs getting chemo.
Welcome to Average People in Chairs Getting Chemo. Special edition. We are not getting chemo. We're sitting on a couch. But I had three of my favorite people in the world here, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to interview them. First and foremost, please explain who you are, your relationship to me, and where you live.
My name is Lynn, and I'm Allie's mother-in-law, sort of mom/mother-in-law, and I live in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
Nikki's ruining it.
This is a safe space.
I'm Allie's sister-in-law, Patrick's sister, and I live in San Diego. Yeah, no. And I'm so happy to be here.
I'm Maddie. I'm Allie's niece, and I live in San Diego, California.
You made me laugh.
That wasn't hard, was it? Okay, so we're going to start with a hard question. What's your favorite movie? And if a movie was made about you, who would play you? Apparently I'm holding the mic for Lynn today.
Pass it over to Maddie first because I have to think about this.
Okay, Maddie, go.
I must say my name is Maddie. My favorite movie is Mamma Mia, and if
Which one?
The first one.
People sitting in chairs getting chemo.
So we had technical difficulties. I can't get away from them, apparently. So we lost sound like a good 20 minutes in. So we're going to finish the question of who would play you in a movie? What's your favorite movie? Go.
Sorry, with me. Okay, I'm just gonna hold the bottom. Because I'm worried. My favorite movie is Mamma Mia, and I definitely think either Angelina Jolie or Cameron Diaz I would want to play me.
My favorite movie has and always will be Grease, the original, not Grease 2. And I think Jennifer Aniston should play me. When I was younger, I was told I looked like her.
I like the first original Heartbreak Kid, and Sybil Shepherd played in that, but I think I'd rather have Cardi B.
Okay. We've already gone through all of these questions. Relax, ladies. It was a practice run.
My answers were so good the last time.
You just spit words of wisdom.
I know. It's really
I know. I can come up with some different questions too. I'll throw some spicy ones in there. I really liked this question, and I hope you guys will say the same stuff, but what is the secret to your relationship? So, mother-daughter relationships. Lynn and Nikki have such a wonderful relationship, and Maddie's and Nikki's is like for the Guinness Book of World Records. So,
Well, I think Nikki and I, when Nikki was born, of course, it was love at first sight. But we've just always been very open with each other. She can come to me if she has any issues, problems. She did a good job of taking care of her little brother, Patrick, and except when she smeared peanut butter on him and he broke out in hives.
He had a peanut allergy.
Yeah,
I saved his life.
that's right. And she saved his life a couple times when he got stung by bees, and when he was mowing a neighbor's lawn and he got went over a nest of bees and got stung all over, and she put him in a baking soda bath, I think, or something. Anyway, but she did take care of him a lot, and we just always had a good relationship because we were open with each other, and that was the main thing. That communication between us was really good. So.
Okay, I wanted to make sure it was still on. But no, I agree. I think just being able to talk to my mom about anything, even at a young age, I think that that's so important. I have so many friends that have said in the past that, they didn't have that kind of relationship with their mothers. And so they want to foster that with their daughters. And I think, just my mom and I have always had a great relationship. We have a lot of fun together. We can joke around with each other. I mean, we can get annoyed with each other, but it always ends up that, we can talk it out and just let that pass. But that doesn't happen that often. I mean, you know, she's my mom and I love her, and we've always done so much together and just had so much fun. And you know, same with Maddie. I mean, again, I've always, you know, fostered with her an open relationship in the sense that I feel like, you know, she feels like she can talk to me, and I talk to her about a lot of stuff. And if something's bothering her, I try to, you know, get it out of her or have her talk to me because, you know, I don't know. I just think it's important. I think it's important to have fun with your kids and your parents and family, and just to have a really open relationship. And I'm going to tell this part again, but but when Maddie got her first period, I
No, it's happened twice now, so it's
I hosted a period party for her, but I don't care. I'm sure I've told him about it. But anyway, I didn't invite any of her friends. I only invited my closest friends. And just so she could have a group of women that loved her. I mean, I would have invited family too, but they lived across country. And just a group of women that that love Maddie also and support her. And, you know, for her to have an open forum with some older women to have questions about, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And so Maddie, I think she appreciated it, and it was a lot of fun. She ended up really having a lot of fun. But when she walked in the door from school and we surprised her with that, she said, "I love you so much, but you're so weird." So I think that sums up our relationship right there.
Exactly. I love you. Definitely just always having that support no matter what I'm feeling. If I'm stressed, just like having your mom force it out of you just really helps to talk about it instead of holding it all in, and just like knowing I can go to her for anything, just whatever I need, she'll be there for me. Same with Yaya and Allie.
Keep the mic. What is the hardest part about being a teenager?
Definitely, I'd have to say the stress of school and like trying to do my best on everything in college, acceptance and all that stuff in grades, and also with just balancing like sports and schoolwork and homework on a busy night. I'll go from like school to volleyball practice or school to track to volleyball to having to do homework and eat and shower, and it's just a lot, but you just have to time management and try your best.
I'm going to throw a trick question in here. Maddie, you are allowed to opt out of it just because you're going through it. Who was your first crush?
Who was my first crush?
Like celebrity or
like a real
guy?
I had a few. I had Bobby Shelton. I had Bobby Shelton, Danny Fuller,
I'm gonna tag him in there.
and Doug Ashley.
Okay, well, weren't we just talking about this today in the car? Allie and I were out running errands and talking about this. So in elementary school, in my first elementary school, it was Ryan Truitt. Oh, and Josh Groman. Oh, those two. They were so cute. Yeah, this was like little, like in elementary school. And then when I got to the older grades and we moved houses and moved schools, it was Gabe Salazar and Adam Barr. And I think Adam Barr carried through most of high school. And then I finally went on a date with him in high school, and I was like, meh. So those were some of my first crushes.
I'll tell like my third like kindergarten pep crush or something. I think it was Braden Heimbigner. Probably like
Braden's
first grade,
so cute.
kindergarten, you know, shout out to Braden.
We love the Heimbigners.
Yeah, good friends, good.
But I did forget Chad Reed, who gave me a ring, and that was in kindergarten. And his mother made rhubarb pie.
Yeah, I slept with that ring under her pillow.
I have no idea where that comes.
Mine was Will Huff. Congratulations on your recent engagement, and I think your wedding's coming up soon. So mazel tov to you guys. I already asked this question, but do you believe things happen for a reason? Are you superstitious in any way? Are there little things that you do to kind of like bend your luck?
I'm not superstitious, but I do believe that things happen and they are meant to happen. And no, can I erase that?
Just go with it.
Anyway, so that's my opinion.
That was meant to happen for a reason, so I could go. No, I really do believe.
I did better on the first one.
No.
Yeah, her first go around when the mic didn't work was a much better answer. But anyway, no, it's on. I don't know. we just have the giggles tonight. But anyway, I really do believe things happen for a reason. And I can't think of an example right now, but I do have to say I do have some superstitions. And one of them is if I like think like, oh goodness, something bad's going to happen or something particular in my head, I'll have to knock on wood like 5 times or something. So it won't happen. But anyway, that's just some weird fun fact about me. But anyways, here's Maddie.
Like I definitely think you like pick your own fate and you make what happens your reality. But I do think everything kind of happens for a reason. Everything works itself out. And if it's like 11/11 or something, I'll like kiss all my fingers and like make a wish. Like I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I don't know if it actually works, but it's just a cute little thing. Or like I'll have a necklace, like a cute necklace. So we'll be like, oh, it's my good luck charm, but I don't actually think it is.
Well, and another thing, and I think Allie's gonna say this too, but we have another thing where I was like, how come every time I look down at the clock, it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34, and Allie had a similar story with some numbers.
11:11. I always have to make a wish, otherwise I feel like it won't come true. And I did this in the car the other day, and Patrick laughed at me. But when you run a yellow light, you kiss the top of the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I'm gonna do that.
I do it subconsciously. Otherwise, I'm going to get into an accident. I do believe things happen for a reason, whether or not you understand the reason at the time. I mean, I'll use me and as an example. I have stage 4 cancer, and I know that it was going to happen regardless. And it's opened up so many doors, so many relationships, and it continues to teach things to me about my life, myself, and the people around me. So, do I think it's awesome that I had cancer? Absolutely not. But I do think that it was probably a unique path that I was bound to take on, and we will definitely get through it together.
That's right.
Yes.
Advice for anyone going through life trauma. So not specifically me, but I'm sure all of you have had people in your lives. Don't cheat, Lynn.
I'm just kind of in a daze over here looking at it.
Are you bored?
No.
She's all.
I'm sure you've all had people in your life that have experienced trauma, whether it's physical or emotional or mental, how that affected, how you saw that affect them, how it affected you, and advice to kind of keep your chin up and move forward.
My thing is, if I hear something about a person, I do not worry about anything until I hear the final word on what's happening to that person. I've always been like that. I always think of the positive and not the negative. With Allie, she is such a strong woman. She has faced this with dignity. She has faced this with the drive that she is going to beat this cancer. And for a minute, I don't worry about anybody until we know exactly what the issue is. And I just have such faith in Allie. She has made us all better people because she has that drive, and it's just amazing to all of us. And we just love her so much, and we know that she will get through this. And we're all rooting for her because we love her so, so much.
My advice is to just show up for that person, be supportive, be there, do what you can to help them, and just be there for them, to listen, to help, to bring food, to just help no matter how you can. And I mean, I've had friends, back home in San Diego go through really, really hard and tough situations. And one of them was here this evening visiting with us. And that brought her, to the East Coast, and she lives near my family now. And just being there and showing up, I think is one of the most important things in whatever capacity you can. And, yeah, that's what I think.
My advice for someone going through it, maybe just what I would do, I'd try and focus on the positive and focus on the now and like what you can do, what you can do to help yourself, or just like live every day to the fullest, because you never know what's gonna happen. Be grateful, say I love you to the people you love, and just be there, be present.
And I mean, I also think, some people don't want a lot of information and some people do. And I think that, Mom was really helpful in finding some alternative treatments that she found. And the crazy part about it is that the doctor that administers those treatments or administered them is here in Baltimore where Ali lives. So I just think, I think that again, if they want help in that regard, I think that that's really important. And, I think it's only a positive thing to be there for them.
My advice going through it now is kind of going off of what you said. Whether or not you're a researcher, which I'm not, stay open to the possibilities of everything. So just because your doctor says you need a specific type of treatment or a specific type of surgery, try and ask more questions. If people bring, alternative ideas, not even therapies, but alternative ideas to the table, it is helpful to at least, learn about them a little bit. Nobody's forcing anything down your throat. But there's so much information out there now. And there's so many things available to us. So kind of making sure that you are well read, but also open to getting advice, and guidance from other people. And that was my biggest thing. I don't like sitting down and reading a bunch of stuff. I don't even think I've sat down and Googled colon cancer stage 4, because it's not like I don't want to know, but like you're only going to get the top negative choices in Google search. And so understanding what I have, understanding it personally to me, and then basically letting the people that you love, if they're willing and able, to kind of do that work for you. And also to follow up on that, people want to help in time of crisis. It was the hardest thing for me to learn, just kind of sitting down and letting the help come. I'm a doer. I like to go. And it was a shell shock to my system. But people who want to help. They feel helpless when they can't do anything. So letting them in makes them comfortable, and ultimately it's going to make you more comfortable. Words of advice for this current generation from 3 different generations. Meaning like the world that we live in now, as seen through your eyes, and the current eyes going through it.
My advice is to not take everything so serious. Enjoy your life. I am 70. I am proud that I have gotten this far. I just think that you have to relax. If you can stay stress-free, which is so hard to do these days because so many things just take us away from our peaceful, serene life. And you have to really focus on how lucky we are to have this beautiful life and to keep trudging through it, and appreciate our friends, our family, to keep the joy going between your family. It's so important to have, number one, our families, and that you're close with your families. And number 2 is our friends that are so supportive, and as our families are too. But we are so lucky. I'm so lucky that I was fortunate to have children. I'm so lucky that I was fortunate to have a beautiful, wonderful daughter-in-law, and I just feel very fortunate. So that's what I have to say.
I agree with what you said, Mom. And I even think for my generation, live every day to the fullest, enjoy life, have fun. Again, don't take yourself too seriously. I mean, everybody's got serious things and stuff going on. And, but I think it's really important. And also not to hold grudges, family is, the most important thing. And, and also I think this might be Maddie's answer, but, social media, I think everybody sees so much on there that other people are doing and whatever, but really only the most fun things and highlights are portrayed on that. So, don't let others make you feel less than for any reason. So anyway.
And I definitely just saying just live every day to the fullest, because you never know what's going to happen. Don't over stress yourself out. I've had to really learn this. Just there's only so much you can do. And if at night you're trying to study, you have a bunch of tests, just be like, I studied, I know my limit, I limited myself, and I'm just going to do my best and just take it one day at a time. And you're really only young once, and just enjoy it. And yeah, just live every day to the fullest. Be happy. Try and stay positive.
I have 3 things to say. I hope I can remember them. One, you are only young ones. Every time I go to the mall, I feel like I'm 13 again and really wish I was. Holding grudges. I just wanted to touch on you because you said family is the most important thing, which I agree and believe in because I am fortunate enough to have a wonderful family. But, you know, if you're not blessed with a happy home or you don't have one, there are all sorts of life circumstances. Just not holding grudges with the people around you, you know, whether it be coworkers or friends or mentors, you know, just trying to find that happiness in your heart wherever you are. And as Ellen says, be kind to one another. This world is not a very kind place right now. And I think Maddie's generation is going to change that, but we all can learn from them. And as long as they set the example for the rest of us. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Any bucket lists, ideas that you must accomplish by then?
Oh, so many. I want to travel. But I'm so fortunate that I have such beautiful grandchildren. I have 5 beautiful grandchildren, and I hope I'm still around in 10 years to see how they all progress and turn out, and just be fortunate that I'm still here in 10 years to see them. And I also love to travel, and I hope that I can take my grandchildren with me to travel and my lovely family here. So it would be fun. We enjoy traveling all together. We always have such good times, so many fun family trips, and hope we continue to do that.
So I was just counting on my hand. So my youngest is 9, and that's probably, I don't know why I had to count on my hand for 10 years, but she'll be 19. So my husband and I will be empty nesters in 10 years. Isn't that weird? And Ella, our youngest, will be out of the house in college. And what? Oh my gosh, in 2.5 years for this one, which is crazy. So the house won't be the same without her in it. But yeah, so we'll be empty nesters, and we'll probably, living it up, woo woo. Try, maybe traveling. I mean, Joe or I will still be working, I think, till probably 60. But we'll be able to go visit our kids at school and in their, wherever they live. And that's crazy to think about. And then I'll be old and have more wrinkles.
For me, definitely just enjoying life, working hard. I definitely want to go to college and try and find a good career, but also take time to travel and explore the world at all throughout my life. Like at a young age, I want to explore the world, and old age, middle, all the time. Just traveling is really something I really enjoy, and I definitely want to focus a lot of my life on traveling or living abroad or learning new cultures, experiencing new cultures. I think that's really interesting. So hopefully I'll be living out that. I know. That's crazy. Stage you got married at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That is also something I just want to mention about what I just said about the generation. The more you can be open to other cultures, new things, new ideas, and respect difference of opinions and just the differences we have as a human race, that is so important. And I think you guys are doing a great job, at least, what I see on a daily basis. So keep that up. And unless I can think of a random secret question, the last question I have written down is, if you could have brunch with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Wow, that's a hard one. Let's see. Number 1, I think Michelle and President Obama. I think that they would be so interesting to sit down with and have brunch with. And
you have to get in line because my Aunt Mary's having brunch with them first.
Oh, darn, Mary.
Yeah, she was the first interview.
I would love to talk to them. And let me think. And maybe Richard Branson, because I would like to go to outer space one day, and he will probably be one of the people that will be going first. So he's also would probably be very interesting to talk to.
I'm going to pass to Maddie and think about my answer.
Oh, gosh. For me, probably... Oh, wait, I had one in my head and I don't remember. Oh, Prince. I feel like it'd be so cool to have lunch with Prince and just talk to him because he seemed to have led such like an amazing life and just like gives perspective on things and talk. Let's see who else. The Obamas, maybe. I don't know.
You
I
copied
really.
Gaia's answer.
Okay, when you put me on the spot, they really are.
How about
French
Michael
date.
Jackson
I
She
was
just
gonna
said
say-
Prince. That was
Yeah,
pretty good.
Prince.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, who else really inspires me? Probably just the lady. I don't know her name. Who started the Me Too movement? I feel like she'd be really interesting to have lunch with. And then Gigi probably.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. My grandmother, mom's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna come up with anything profound. Mine might be a little more shallow. So, I mean, just for fun. But let's see. Maybe
James Dean.
oh, James Dean. You said?
James Dean.
Okay. Why? Because he's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we're going along that lines, I'm gonna say Channing Tatum. No, I'm just kidding. One of the Hemsworth brothers. No, actually, I feel like my pop-up was a really neat guy, and I remember him from when I was little, but just more through stories. I mean, I remember him, but I think I always just heard what a really, really nice man he was. And so I think him, and of course I miss all of my, grandparents that have passed away, but probably pop-up.
Yeah, because he Pop was somebody that never had unkind word to say about anybody. He always his motto was, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And if I could be even a little bit like that, it would be great. So I do miss him.
Oh, I thought of another
My
one.
mom, too.
She was pretty great. But and maybe like Marilyn Monroe, because it'd be really interesting to hear all of her stories and, kind of the life she led. And I don't know, it'd just be interesting to find out, about her sordid past and her, life in the entertainment industry. Yeah. So that's all I can think of.
For me, I mean, it probably would change day to day, except for my Nana and Pop-Up, because I'm privileged enough to have relationships with all 11 of their kids and their children. And they passed away when I was 2 or 3. I was very young, 4 maybe. I can't remember. And, I only have a memory of their living room. So I know how special they were to everyone who knew them. So I would just kind of like to kind of check in with them, let them know that everybody's doing well. And I love Drew Barrymore, and I want to be her friend. And I think that if she had lunch with me and Nana and Pop-Up, we would just it would be the best brunch. We'll end on a saucy note. What is your favorite alcoholic beverage for you? Mine used to be, I think, I changed it up. Sometimes I'd be in a wine mood. Sometimes then I'd have to switch to vodka. But I think like a good classic is always champagne. But alas, I'm not drinking anymore. So.
Well, my first was White Russians. I love those, but they were too rich and creamy. And my second is champagne. I still don't get completely bombed on that.
Your face turns really red.
But my face turns red because I have the Asian glow, because my father had a little bit of Asian in him. But I like the champagne.
The champagne.
And I like Yingling beer. But I only can have, like Joe, my son-in-law, calls me half a beer Lynn.
Okay, so it's going to be 3 beverages, not 1.
Okay,
Well, I mean, my mainstay is always like a nice red wine. So that, and then Tito's and soda, and with a squeeze of lime, or more of late, a dirty martini.
I just want to say, whenever I think of Yaya, just like in California, I think of us at Las Olas and Yaya being like, "Can I get a Dos Equis?" That's what
But which one?
the
Which
one
kind?
Oh, it's like the dark one.
The brown
The brown Dos Equis. That's just like, I just had to say that. But definitely a good lemonade or Arnold Palmer. Just lemonade.
What about your favorite Starbucks drink?
Oh, I like so many. Like, they're so good. Probably an iced white mocha or like an iced chai. But sometimes if I'm in the mood for something refreshing, I'll go with like a strawberry acai lemonade or something like that. Just like line up, or a
A bunch of sugar-laden drinks.
And just to clarify, and if I'm misquoting, I would love to hear from you and hear the correct reason why. I believe the Asian glow is because the population lacks an enzyme to break down the alcohol in some beverages, and so they end up getting flushed. And if I'm wrong, please let me know. But that's what we understand. And because she has it in her bloodline, it hits her really hard.
There is a name for it, but I can't remember it. But I just call it the Asian glow.
Well, this has been lovely. I think we're still recording, which is great news, and the sound is still on. So thank you all, ladies, for being here with me on a chemo off week.
And
I've had
fantastic, by the way. We are so happy for her.
Hooray! Well, I love you all. I am blessed to know you, and my life is infinitely better because you are in my life.
And we are blessed to have you as part of our family. I couldn't
That's how
imagine
we
anyone
feel.
else I would want as my sister.
Love you.
We got the perfect person.
Bye.
Love. Bye-bye.
People sit in the chairs getting chemo.